Could DJI drones really be banned in the United States in 2025? And what does this mean for people who fly drones recreationally, professionals who use drones, and commercial drone pilots? Today, we're diving into the latest U.S. legislation targeting Chinese drone manufacturers, especially DJI. And if you fly drones for fun, content creation, or for your business, you need to hear this. I'm going to have all of the details and latest updates on what is about to happen with U.S. legislation, FCC, and FAA. Let's break this whole thing down from front to back. No beating around the bush, only the facts. It's about to get real, so you need to get ready. December 23rd, 2025, we have a deadline, and DJI is on the move. Don't move, don't breathe, don't even think about not watching this. All the information, details, and updates, and where is it going to be? On this channel. Let's go. What's up, everyone? Mike Seitz, and today I'm going to communicate what may be a historic event that could affect not only the future of DJI, but the entire world. I'm speaking of December 23rd, 2025. This is an extremely important date for DJI in the United States, and here's why. Under the fiscal year 2025, or FY25, National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA, Section 1709, set a critical deadline that a U.S. national security agency must complete a formal security audit of DJI drones by that date. And if not completed by that date, then DJI will face an automatic ban from the United States for selling any products that are deemed as a national security threat. Now keep in mind, despite what everyone else has been saying, DJI is not banned at this time. This is a delay or a blocking of DJI products from entering into the United States. And this countdown deadline towards a possible U.S. ban on DJI drones officially began on December 24th, 2024. This is when the FY 2025 NDAA was enacted. Now, this legislative bill under Section 1709 included language such as this. 1. To give U.S. security agencies 1 year to conduct a formal security review of DJI and other listed drone companies. So we're not only talking about DJI, we're talking about other Chinese drone manufacturers. Number 2 stated, if there is no review completed by December 23rd, 2025, the companies, including DJI, will be automatically added to the FCC's cover list. And some of you assumed that the FCC was not involved, but I'm telling you that they are. This cover list would effectively ban the sale, import, or operation of new DJI products in the United States. Now listen very carefully to what I just said. Sale, import, or operation of new DJI products. This bars DJI in the US from using anything that has to do with essential radio communication equipment, such as Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. But remember, DJI is not barred yet. This is DJI's decision to put everything out of stock. But it's also the other products, such as the DJI action cameras, the DJI mics, the DJI Osmo gimbals that transmit or broadcast Wi-Fi or radio signals. The DJI drones, for example, have a proprietary wireless video transmission system that enables high-quality, low-latency communication between DJI drones and the remote controller. The FCC is the federal agency that regulates wireless communications. And yes, they are involved with the potential DJI ban, but only through their authority to ban radio equipment covered under that list. Now, there are some key things to pay attention to, both strategically and logistically, in regard to DJI. What are they doing right now? What moves are they making? Or better yet, what moves are they not making? Well, let's first talk about the 2025 NAB show that took place April 5th through April 9th here in Las Vegas, where I live. And throughout the years, DJI has always been the innovative main course of that show. But in fact, some people didn't even know that DJI was even even there, but they just didn't show any drones. So you're asking, what did they actually exhibit at the NAB show? Well, let me tell you, they showed us the DJI RS Mini gimbal for smartphones, the Osmo Ecosystem Mobile 7 for smartphone gimbals, and they also showed us video and audio editing tools. And I just asked myself, Mike, are you serious? Yes, I am. And what is so significant is that they introduced the DJI Power Solutions Power 1000, Power 500, and Expansion Battery 2000. Now, I don't know what you're thinking, but you're probably thinking the same thing that I'm thinking. This was basically a DJI no-show, but don't allow this to dissuade you. There is a DJI strategy somewhere here, and the strategy is e-bikes. And it's not what everyone else is saying about this is a DJI e-bike. That is completely wrong. This is an Amflo bike, a very popular carbon fiber bike, and DJI's contribution is the Avanox drive system, the motor, a very superior quality motor that's powering the bike. And these bikes were not even available in the United States until 2 weeks ago. So while DJI doesn't wear the Amflo label on the frame of the bike, their tech fully powers it, making it the core of the propulsion technology of motor, battery, electronics, and firmware. So you can see that there is a strategy somewhere here. And just so you know, I contacted some of the dealers in the United States about this bike, and they are already sold out despite the fact that no one has them in stock yet. Now let's go back to the root cause by asking this question. Why is DJI being targeted, and who is going to be affected by this? Answering the first, there is a legitimate concern that DJI, the dominant leader in drone manufacturing, who also owns 90% of the market share worldwide and 70% market share within the US, meaning that if you gathered up all of the drones in the United States, 70% of those drones would be DJI drones. And the concern is that DJI may have ties to the Chinese government, but that may not be entirely correct. DJI has investors. Obviously, they didn't get that big without having someone invest in their company, such as China, Jiangdong Holdings Group, Shanghai Venture Capital Guidance Fund, Guangdong Hunyang Investment Holding, and SDIC Unity Capital. All of these investors for DJI are overseen by the Chinese government in Beijing, and what compounds the level of concern here is that DJI is not a publicly traded company, which means that they can conceal who their investors are and they don't have to disclose that information. And the concern that the lawmakers have here in the United States is the same concern that they've had with DJI in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. This has been going on for years, and it's not the first time that the Defense Department had concerns about DJI sharing sensitive information with the Chinese government. Now let's fast forward so you have some updated information. June 6, 2025, last month, President Trump signed 2 executive orders. The first order was for unleashing American drone dominance. And you're already starting to have a feel for where this is going. The purpose is to boost the U.S. drone industry. Also, to enable BVLOS. For those of you who don't know what that means, that stands for Beyond Visual Line of Sight. And this is why I mentioned earlier FCC and FAA, because the FAA is the one who will be regulating Beyond Visual Line of Sight. And also, this executive order is to favor drone manufacturing within the United States. The second executive order is for restoring American airspace sovereignty, and this is also the responsibility of the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA. So you're beginning to have an understanding about what may be occurring later in regard to national airspace. And the purpose of this is to set up a counter-drone task force. Now, do you see how all of this is unfolding, where logistically, logically, and politically, how this is somewhat going to be phasing DJI out of the big picture? And DJI knows what's going on. This is not their first rodeo. The new administration's policies are to boost the American economy and the American security, so that way there is a level of dominance in regard to the drone industry within the United States, as manufacturing drones in the United States will allow those 2 recent executive orders to be implemented appropriately. Now let's move the timeline up to 2 weeks ago, early July 2025. The U.S. Department of Commerce officially launched a Section 232 investigation into the import of drones and drone components, including those from DJI and Autel, on grounds of national security. So with all of this, let me get to the second part of that question. That is, who's going to be affected by all of this? The U.S. Department of Commerce Bureau of Industry and Security has to complete the Section 232 National Security Investigation. Specifically, this investigation is for analyzing whether foreign-made drones and their parts, including those from DJI, Autel, and other Chinese manufacturers, pose a threat to U.S. national security. Basically, the Bureau of Industry and Security have to examine and determine three things. 1. Whether U.S. reliance on foreign drones, especially from China, puts sensitive infrastructure, law enforcement, or defense operations at risk. 2. Whether import drone motors, sensors, cameras, flight controls, communication systems could be used for surveillance, data harvesting, or interference. And 3. The potential economic impact on heavy foreign market dominance, especially from DJI. Do you see where all of this is going? Removing the dominant force and the reliance on DJI is what this administration is focused on. So what is going to be the most likely outcome realistically, and who's going to be affected by this? I would really like to hear your thoughts about this. Personally, how I feel is that our government already prohibits federal agencies and contractors from using DJI drones due to national security concerns. But we would be shooting ourselves in our own foot if we prohibited the agriculture, such as farmers, from using these drones, because that would severely affect our economy. Civil engineers, bridge inspectors, structural inspectors, transportation engineering, all of these vital roles ensure the safety and the integrity of our day-to-day lives. And they are all facilitated by the use of drones. And according to survey data collected by the coalition's members in 2023 alone, 3.7 million acres were sprayed by drones across 41 states. And not just drones, but drones that are technologically superior than any other drones that the United States can manufacture at this present time. So if a ban or a restriction is to be applied, then it's logical to apply that after we've acquired the technology and the means to manufacture a drone that supersedes over the current technology that we have today. Listen, post your comments. I am really interested in hearing what you have to say. That's all I have for this video. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.